Welcome to another podcast of Board in Ohio. I am solo today. Adam's out of town or something, but figured I'd keep this train rolling. So we went and recently saw Evil Dead Burn. Starts with an abusive husband, Will, who then is stalked by a deadite that walks in front of his car, which then cuts, and I do mean a hard cut, to a booty shake of a dancer in his bar or club or restaurant, or I think it's a restaurant. Actually, wait a minute. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it wasn't to his restaurant. Maybe it was to a different complete club. I was too busy laughing at that hard cut. That was an odd choice. Anyway, so Evil Dead Rise, great movie. I mean, so well done. I loved everything about that movie. I've seen it several times already. But if you recall, uh, the Jessica character, I'm not even sure they said her name in that film, but she's if at the start of the film, uh, she's the girl that um, isn't infected. She's a deadite, and at the end of that film, she comes out of the water, floating. You come to this movie, and I guess she's still in the lake. There's two other completely different dudes that are fishing, and I guess all this time she's waiting in the lake to just murder two more people and then get out of the lake and then walk I don't know how many miles to wait on the side of the road for Will's car to eventually drive by for her to walk in front of to cause it to crash to then cause his car to start on fire and burn alive. The movie's main protagonist, the person you're following most of the film, is the final girl, Alice, which is his estranged, abused wife, and dealing with the loss of him, whom she doesn't seem too sad about, and I don't know why she would. And her parents, I'm sorry, not her parents, Will's parents, who seem to hate her and can't stand her. Anyway, I'm getting into too many details here. Point is, casket, they do the funeral. Casket's taken to the morgue. Dad wants to go in one more time to see his son. And then Will's burned hand reaches out and just grabs his arm, which then slowly infects him and turns him into a deadite. Anyway, cut back to the house where they're all going. Got grandma, what was her name, Polly or something like that. You got his mom, seems like a hateful shithead. Um, you got Will's brother, who's that guy from Wednesday. God, I couldn't think about it. The guy that turns into like a werewolf or something. He's in this. His girlfriend, and then the dad, and look, one by one, they all get infected by the old film way of you're getting stabbed by something that a deadite has. Think of Evil Dead 2 with the pencil stabbing into Ash's hand, and that slowly gets turned into its own deadite form. They just push all of it too far in this one. Like it's just you can't go into it saying the whole thing is just unbelievable because of course the whole premise of these films are completely unbelievable, but you know they're a real fun watch. But no words are completely spoken, no record playing, no tape recording of the words that they typically use. um, I guess it's all just left to the Jessica character from the previous film making her way into in front of Will's car. Starts anyway. The whole point of Jessica wanting to step in front of Will's car is because Will's grandfather, I guess, was studying the Book of the Dead, also trying to find the Kandarian dagger, which she found and is hidden. You find out somewhere in the house. Which doesn't make a little. I mean, I guess there's something with that. You know what? It might have been Ash versus Evil Dead, the TV series, that brought lore into it. I'm just not remembering. But the dagger is the one thing that can kill a deadite. But it's, at least in this film, and maybe I'm not remembering correctly, also the thing that they want so it can free them completely. I guess I got to be not remembering something here because I was just like, you'd think you want to get as far away from that as possible or destroy it. Anyway, I mean, so the dog gets turned into a deadite, which it's, you got you got a tree in the first film, so yeah, I wasn't against that, but it's more of like one of the dogs from like Resident Evil, that type of situation. Um, but yeah, of course, Alice eventually finds the dagger, and of course, Alice uses it to eventually kill Will. The one that burned alive, and then reached out and grabbed the dad, and then while everybody's slowly getting turned into deadites one by one, all to kill, not necessarily to kill Alice, which is what they will do eventually anyway, right? Everybody, but they just want to get the dagger. The entire film, this burned corpse, they don't show again, obviously, because thank God they didn't, because that would be even worse, is slowly traveling, I guess, down the road to get to the house. So once she's eventually dealt with everyone else, that's when Will arrives. Um, yeah, I mean everything went pretty much as far as the overall arc of the story. You could see everything coming the whole time. Um, the loophole thing, right? Like there's a scene where the mother, her husband, is like making out with her, blood, all kinds of saliva in this one. You guys, I don't do well with the saliva. It was just nasty. You know, all the typical things which would cause you to become a deadite. You get the blood in the face, or uh, stabbed by something. In this case, a burned hand touches you. But she never changes until almost the very end. But the whole time, she's just back and forth between like not believing what's going on, being in love with her husband still, even though he's obviously not her husband anymore. And then eventually, right before the finale of the film, she then makes the change, of which then Alice had to deal with her also before Will. That And Will, just like when he grabbed his dad, does grab Alice in this. And then she gets the burn mark on her. You're like, okay, well, that's it. She's going to turn. She doesn't. She kills him. End of the film. And then, one last, while she's sitting on the back of the ambulance, moment where she quickly looks up at the screen. And I don't know if it's like from all the abuse she was taking, her left eye is a little bit bloody. You're going, okay, obviously this is supposed to be some kind of tease to say, is she or she is, and the cycle's going to continue or something. Oh man, I wanted to like this movie so bad. It's a couple of funny moments in it. Uh, the booty shaking for sure, literally cracked me up. The scene with the grandma Molly on the chair stairwell lift. That I got a laugh in the theater a couple times. But oh, there was some amazing camera work in this one, like really, really amazing camera work in this one. And then there's the one shot sequence I believe they showed in the very first teaser trailer, where it's all one continuous shot, just following Alice around the house while she's trying to avoid everything. That was really well done as well. Um, but the body horror, man, even for an Evil Dead film, just seemed to be a little bit too much over the top, and basically just the punchline of the entire film, um, and which was a letdown because Evil Dead Rise was just so good. But yeah, I'm gonna highly suggest you don't spend any money on this one. Wait for it on one of your streaming platforms, which is one of your free ones, paying a monthly fee, right? Um, yeah, don't waste the money. At the same time, I can't tell you, definitely not worth a watch because there were some things I liked about it. But definitely, I would say this one's this one's probably the worst of the franchise. Yeah, actually, no. Wait a minute. That Evil Dead remake, which was like just straight Eli Roth body horror, over the top, disgusting the entire time, and then the weird, bloodied human form, deadite, like a god or something, one of like a deadite demon lord or something, whatever the hell the thing was supposed to be, I forget. But that was no, I'm sorry, never mind. This is the second worst film. Yeah, that one was a lot worse. Uh, but at the same time, worth a watch. I wouldn't tell you to watch the remake one. That was just way too much. But yeah, if you saw it, like and subscribe, and then comment below. Let us know your thoughts on it. Let us know what you liked. If you disagree with anything, would love to hear your opinions on that. And yeah, till next time, stay frosty.